technically not live on YouTube. Fixing that now. Sorry about that. Okay. If you hear me yawning, that's because I've been up since 5:10 a.m. Did my sleep study last night, and they don't let you stick around once they got the data they need, pretty much. So yeah, last we left, we would be playing Mon Hunt today, but between my exhaustion and some other folks' exhaustion, we didn't think it'd be a great show, so we put it off. And we're gonna go ahead and do our own thing. So, we left our heroes in Wildermyth. We were dealing with Lord Vulta's plot, manipulating the world through war and destruction and whatnot. After getting our asses kicked on one timeline, we entered another one and managed to stop the and stop one of the factions. And now the Dralvin are our main enemies. So let's go ahead and get this party started. I've read about this place. No one knows who lived here, and speculation and weren't even human. We've seen this event. Cool. New person. No whooping right before a big fight. Let's kill some things before we send her off into the great unknown with no backup, shall we? Sorry, window needs to be fixed. There we go. Alright. Let's get you a stone crossbow, shall we? Alright, that kind of is flanking. Cool. I didn't think Danny could shoot all the way down that passage. Now, if there's enough to want to melee her, you have to go through the fire to do so. Well, he calculated and took the risk. Also, he regenerated it right back, so fair point. Now they have to go through 2 layers of defenses. Technically 3, if they want to hit her. Sucks to be you. You take 4 damage next turn. No thanks. You're gonna be dead. I'll probably want a bridge to go from there to there. I don't like it. Control first. Alright, looks like Glim. Some trees weep, have you noticed? Perhaps one screaming soul's now mercifully cursed? How do you think she's settling it? Fine. God, so many hets in this campaign. Jeez, you have some range. Yeah, that water spirit's gonna get way far from us. Alright, Shoebird. And big ol' Splinter Blast. Alright, Dahlia. Just for the legacy point. team of full team of 5 I mean, should be able to handle it. Strength 7. Oh, if we go much further, we won't be able to use fire tonight. While gathering firewood. Hey, look what I found. Does this mean anything? Should we move the camp? Looks like gravel and garbage. Let me see that. No, see? Break this open and... Magic ring! Who wants it? How'd you know it was? Maybe with 12th magic ring I found one of these things. I have no idea why they do this. Why? What? Why do you just wear one of them then? How come they're only wearing one ring? Why not one on each finger? Where are you from? You ever heard the story of Al-Sisi? Here we go. Name sounds familiar. I suppose. Well, he puts a good log on the fire. Well, it ought to, because it was the foremost musician of her time. Now, her instrument of choice was something that you called a banjo, which was the exact form has been lost to time. But I hear it was basically like a mandolin, if you've ever seen one of those. But with the sort of drum attached. And of course, she would travel all over lands in search of stories, and songs, and frankly, treasure. Now, one summer, she was traveling to the Vulta Plain, rumors of an old song. The story winds on, and the thrill started. First one, and then the rest. Quiet, it's my story. One of them started stamping its claws at the beat. And the rest began to join in. Takes a couple detours, maybe. Then he puts another log, as if measuring how much of the story is left. Then the great Gorgon Ulstrix fled the hall, with his hands clamped over his ears. Fire's nearly out. Comes to the last innermost chamber. There she saw a cold stone altar where 5 magic rings. Now, it was a damn greedy old vixen, and she put all 5 rings on her right hand, and just then she heard a noise. And that was a drow who stalked her at Vulta Plains. She laughed and reached out her right hand to flex her newfound power. Well, and that's how she became known as Al-Sisi the One-Handed. You can't play the banjo with one hand. Anyway, who wants this ring? Okay. Bruh. God, you're so slow. Alright, open door. Okay, nobody's in there. Let's see if I can get a shallow enough angle to hit both. I can. Hello, giant bird. Bad birdie. Dead birdie. Okay. Level 3 artifact weapon. Lightning. And the cyclone attack. Okay. Nothing moving here. They entered the outbuilding in the first place, which I see no evidence they did. Sure, just want to take a peek upstairs is all. Never know what you'll find. VtuberEN room. We've seen better days. Okay, Roof Master. Hey, just remember it was me that found this thing? Thing? A dead person. Not just her. Look. The shield. Don't tell me you never heard of the Knights of Starlock. Dowdy hero types. They rode these lands long before you learned to wipe your own face. And Lily Woke was my favorite. It had a shield shaped like a dragon's paw and used it to make phony tracks on the muddy trails. Real japester. I bet this was hers. In the end, though, guess it didn't really save her, did it? Okay, artifact shield. That's nice. Also gives bonus damage. Our hands are full. Glim could use it. Okay. Armor. To Dahlia. Only have 7 legacy points. I don't care if you're stronger. I don't care if you're stronger. Let's prevent a new enemy. Looks like this place for supple-mouthed wanderer encounters with tall and writing blocks. Okay, we've seen this plenty of times. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to split up just yet anyway. Open door. Find a terror bird on the other side. Then with Vampire Sword. No, that'll make it do that thing where it scares. Do more damage. Do back kick tab. Okay. This is a really good augment. And more dodge. And then from here, I want... Yep, we've seen this event before. Leaf Spirit runs straight into the mine. It is so unfortunate that you both decide to stand in a line right behind this. Unfortunate for you at least. For me, it's great.
Oh, she's not interfused with bonfire. She's interfused with the fire she stole. But I forgot that little detail. Oh yeah, that works very well. Let us get the legacy point. Or leaf repair. I'll take that. The bleak gale. Nothing to really interfuse with, is there? That. Oh, I'll take that. Bad mistake. That's fine, let them finish the bridge. Nighttime in the blooming season. This is the bear transformation again. Danny already denied this once. All right. Oh, fishy fish, I see you there with the fishy lips and your fishy stare. Oh, fishy fish with scales so blue. Hello there. Who's that? We're told Brian Vass made his home in these parts. An author of myths and histories. Would that be you? If I wasn't, would I be wearing his scarf? Or fishing in his pond? So what are you selling? Toothbrushes? Adventure clothes? Can't pay you anything but fish. Actually, I'm something of a reader. I stumbled upon your work some time ago. Your style was delightful. Your passion for the subject palpable as... excuse me, I'm getting carried away. A reader, are you? And a flatterer. I like you already. The thing is, my friends and I, there's a mystery we've been trying to solve about this brooch, and I'm wondering if you might have a look at it. Let's see. Yes, that's... Put a picture of this in my book, didn't I? Funny thing about it, though. What's that? Better come back to my cabin. That's where I keep all my notes. Guess I don't have to tell you how I went about collecting my stories. Job for years, picking up bits and pieces there. Wrote down everything I heard, then spent more years stitching them all together. The Vulture Queen. I remember finding half-remembered fragments of that tale in all the kinds of places, sometimes so distorted by time they were barely recognizable. It's those types of stories that interest me most. Keep me coming back and to pick at them like an old scab wondering what's underneath. Let's see now. One of these, probably. Story I put in my books was really just simplest account. Vulture, Queen of Beasts, tyrant who demanded all things pay their tribute in flesh. Until our ancestors rose up against her, sealing her away her immortal soul in a magical jewel thing. Those were the common points, how most people told it. But you know, there's always one. See, I was bold and reckless in my youth, if you'd believe it. I like to go wandering deep into wild woods. On the last day of a balmy autumn, I chanced upon a lonesome cottage. Home with some old hermit woman. Some called her a crackpot, some a weaver of spells. Had a reputation for removing curses. But when she heard of my hobby, she welcomed me in and spun me tales of the Vulture Queen. Her eyes shone, her chin quivered. She was adamant about the details, though they little resembled the other accounts I'd heard. Must have made it up herself. Couldn't well include it in my book. Good story, though. Have a read. The pages are frail and time-worn. The writing looks like dog scratch. Danny squints begins to pluck words like berries from a bramble. When our land was cold and bitter, all life at the mercy of the suns, winds. It was Vulture, she alone who dared defy. In her beak she captured it, light of the sun itself, though it burned her feathers and scorched her skin. But down she dove, down and down, when at last she alighted. She was changed, mighty beyond measure, immortal as the fire she now commanded. Now with her gift she melted the frozen land, rivers ran and green things grew, and all the beasts who then dwelled in the grey regions, the flighty fox and the restless wren, the gangly goat and the torpid toad. They named her their queen, she whose courage and cunning had brought them life. And when their lives were spent, to her they pledged their flesh, a just tribute, the only one she required. So it was, and would have always been, had not there come to the valley another family of beasts, those who they called themselves human. Furless, featherless, afraid of the night, pitiful creatures, she thought them. She allowed them to raise their homes in the shadows of her mountain, and often she would come down amongst them to offer them her wisdom. They would bow and grovel and sing her praises, but always they complained of the cold. And so one day she brought to them a single flame from her mouth. In their hearts they were jealous of the Vulture, jealous and full of guile. They took her gift and with it grew strong, spray like vermin over the valley. But when she returned to claim her tribute, they refused to yield what was her due, and wielding the Vulture's Queen's flame against her. I can't make out the rest of the words, sorry, it's... give it here. The flames climbed and... what is this, pine sap? but the loyal protected, so her soul was bound. Ah, this page is better. Something about unspeakable agony, and then she would not die with sun's fire still clutched in the Grey Mountains. She swore to capture every town and hamlet, to make the humans bow to her and call her queen. And so she did. That's it? That's the end? Said the same thing myself. After some badgering, got the hermit woman add this footnote. Later, a duplicitous dullard trapped the vermin queen's soul in a dwarf world. The end. That's a twist. Anyhow, like I said, couldn't put the story in my book, but there was something else they took away from me that day. She owed me a ring with a symbol on it. Said it was the crest of the Vulture Queen. Never seen anything like it before. Thought I might as well use it. A few more hours sifting through Brand's collection. You think it's possible that's who we're at war with, a Vulture Queen? Too many similarities to be a coincidence. I mean, Vulta? Yeah. Well, long journey back. Where are we long journey backing? VtuberEN? Oh, there we go. Sticky afternoon sky, long grasses hum at the touch of a fitful breeze. Familiar lines of VtuberEN grow harder in the haze. Jerry remembers another day like this one, walking the same road, thinking the job ahead, coming upon a roof patcher and an excitable end keep. A simple beginning to a winding story. He wonders how it will end. Is that Falcia? What's she running at us for? Hey, give me a moment. Old legs, don't move like they used to. You couldn't just wait for us at the inn, or has something happened? There's a prisoner out front. Abby and Mally sent me to. Prisoner? Did I hear that right? That was fast. You don't sound so surprised. I had a hunch. I asked Abby to look into it for me. That's why she went on ahead. Okay, but why keep it a secret? We've been working together for how many years? Well, you know how I like to be thorough. Gather all the facts before I start making conjectures. Abby steps forward to meet them, impatient to impart her news. Waited down by the canyon entrance like you said, and there she came. Scrawny woman wearing Vulta's crest. Not even a hello? Didn't put up much of a fight either. Bound her arms and marched her back here, just two of us. Hello, hello. Bracket. How'd you know, Danny? Little things. When I first saw the brooch, I thought it looked familiar. When I heard Brand's story, I hoped I was wrong, but here we are. And her lady, whose home is in the mountain. You're gonna tell me that was Vulta? Those squatters were our enemies, were your enemies as much as ours. Sure, but I had to choose between letting Deepest dig their holes in some mountain or bowing to your queen Vulta. I remain grateful for the aid you gave us. I did wish that some of you might understand, but time, it seems, has brought little change in the human heart. What are we to understand? Vulta has shown us nothing but cruelty. Maybe if you told us what she was trying to do, you'd set yourselves against my queen. I will tell you nothing. Fine, let me see if I can put it together. We've heard the legend of Vulture Queen. Can't say how much of it's true, but it fits Vulta well enough. So she, some way, came to escape her prison and return to Grey Mountain. Wasn't enough, though, just to be free. She wanted to make us suffer, make us grovel. Draven and Marthagi, the mercenaries. She set them against each other to create chaos, and maybe for her amusement. Those who survived, she made into her army. Her soldiers one day, her meal the next. She used them all just like she's been using you. You know nothing! We were shivering, towering beasts when we first came to this valley, calling ourselves humans as if that meant something. She was powerful beyond our understanding. She could have swept us away 1 beat of her mighty wings, but no. From her mountain she looked down and pitied us. She shared with us things she held most precious. We recognized her as our rightful queen, our protector, our savior, until they betrayed her. Because she was a greedy tyrant? She asked nothing of us that she did not ask of all beasts. Why must you bury your dead? You'd rather feed the worms? And so I chose to stand with her, where I belonged, where my loyalties were due. Look, Bracken, I'm not going to defend those ancients. They're just storybook characters to me. Whether what they did was right or wrong is something in between. I don't know. But what's Vulta doing now? Killing and conquering us over some old grudge? Hard to see her as a benevolent leader. She's not what... It was the humans who made her be. Long, long ago. Yes, just how old are you anyway? The breeze picks up a moment. Danny's the first to walk away. Not much else we need to know, right? It's on to Grey Mountain. What do we do with our captive? Don't want to kill her. Don't like the idea of setting her loose either. Ooh, You can leave her with me. Would like to get a good sketch. We don't know what Bracken's capable of, but I don't care. It's up to everyone else. Have the old tried and true method. Tie me to a tree. Just need to keep you out of our hair for a bit. Gathering movements. All right, there we go. Cool. And now everybody gets some sweet. There's way too many people just to guard this area, to be completely honest. God, Talia needs some accuracy. Glenn, go help her out. You like fire, right? Eat that. Yeah, let's get you folks in the inspired aura to defend. Okay. I figured I'd just take the super low chance to hit something. Figured as much. You got some move speed, Ma. Not enough accuracy for my liking, but whatever. rest of this should be pretty easy. Yep, you guys stay there. Don't want to finish the chapter just yet. We've seen this. Finish off that guy first. The Batch B has plenty of folks who are willing to finish it off. Close to this group? Nah. Get close to these two? I just want AoEable groups. That's all I want. Okay. Get you here. Fire breath this way. Rain of fire this way. Gonna stab you in the back. Take the loot this time. Get that job finished. Now we can assault Grey Mountain. Some of them been up the mountain before. With a few false steps, they remember the turns. Meanwhile, in the woods where they left Bracken tied, time trickles on. Day blends with night, years with decades. Measurement is futile in the face of the infinite. But there are some memories that live in the mind, unfilled by the ages that passed between. She was truly young then, the ungainly runt of an otherwise prosperous litter. More than any of them, she'd known the wind's bite, the despair of the starless night, and so more than any of them, she'd loved the dawn and day. She was simple, complacent, ruled by no great ambition, only a dog's desire to please. They laid their plans without her, and she harbored no suspicion. When day came for their queen to claim tribute, stop it! Why? Out of the way. It wasn't courage in that moment. It was devotion. A devotion that blotted out fear and thought, compelled her to defy her own blood. The price? She'd had no time to consider. Fragile beast, wake up. Your heart beats again. You have proved yourself true, worthy of the greatest gift. Queen Vulta? I was dead. Your foolish brethren thought so, but you were not beyond my call. I do not remember. This light. Did you know that I captured it long ago? A beakful of sun's flame torn from the sky, the prize of my daring, the source of my eternal life. And now the smallest piece of it resides in you. A piece of the sun. No lesser magic would mend you. Only as her eyes grew accustomed to the glare of the light did Bracken receive the extent of what had come to pass. My queen, your face! I look like you, don't I? My beak, my feathers, the traitor's flame stripped me of my beauty, and as I bent my powers to save you, I somehow slipped into this thing. A consequence of the bond we now share, perhaps. But, Queen Vulta, do you really mean... My body wobbles as if it were formed of jelly. These arms will not allow me to fly, no matter how hard I flap them. It will be a pittance of years. The sun shall restore me to what I was. In the meantime, Rodog? Bracken, I am called Bracken. For your name for the hair-hiding plant growth. Well, not Queen Vulta, why would you have... Because, loyal Bracken, I know you will never betray me. A piercing shriek jolts her from half-sleep. It's just as the saying goes. Clever birds make quick work of knotted ropes. Now come, lead me home. Well, it's blocked. The way we went before, it would have been here. Break out the wine, I guess. I'm footsore. Chance to get our gear in order, right? Final preparations for this one. Okay, when? That'll do. No hurry in their step, no urgency. Wonder if I could pluck one up from here, if we weren't trying to be so sneaky. Tracing the mountain's perimeter, even the likeliest way, is a little guarded. They keep above the road and to its left, ducking behind boulders and for sound of movement below. The patrols they pass are easily skirted. Last mountain we ever climb? What do you think? Up Grey Mountain and around wraps the cart till. Have to admit, kind of like the outfits. Maybe if we snag some, we can sneak in and poison the beer. And it's free clubs. Perhaps a whole mess of soldiers down that chute. Plus the legend thing, this Vulta. Not much of what's in the legend is rooted in truth. But it's time, I guess. Yeah, it's time. And in case any of us... It's alright. Let's not have any elegies. Or where none of us here to die. A brief tussle and they gain the entrance. Not far left to go. Ooh, Flock Flames, Grey Marauders, Whisper Wings, and Sunspoken. So the Marauders are new, and the Flock Flames not having to wait to be spawned. Okay. Okay, you're still like that. Took a bit of setup to get that to work. Confront the Vulture Queen. One assumes that's where she is. Okay. Boot to the head. Yeah, I need to shred the armor before I can do anything. That's a lot of armor. Opening door for your friends, how nice. No. And y'all have fire auras too. Goodness, they are not holding back, are they? Thing that sucks about fire auras, still doesn't protect you from being lit on fire. I can't hit you because something's in the way. Yeah, keep her aura and K-Win's active, and all the Flock Flames die just by standing near us. Spectre Steps. Danny killing 2 people per turn just because he can always find a line between them is so great. Mountain Shaper. The balance of its body is mesmerizing, how it moves with crackling lightness. The obliterating one-eyed gaze begins to wobble, radiate rock. And a bunch of flock flames. A bunch of flock flames. Bunch of other stuff, too. Okay, so we've got a mini-boss. Alright, if I do this... You're a big one. Well, you're bleeding, so you should die. I hope I can constrict you. I can. That's a hell of a cone. This is one of those situations where I really like yoga. I'm gonna have to settle for Kira walking into this mess, though. That's a lot of damage to take. I'm okay with that. There, and now that I've done more damage to everything... That works.
mean, there's enough fire to infuse here now. Mally's getting his ass kicked. Why is that not going to deal damage? Oh, you're blinded. Fuck. Can I get rid of the blind? Nope. Choice but to just waste it then. Okay. If I get you here. So that sounds spoken. I don't know how this is going to count blinded, so I guess, yeah, automatically misses. Oh well. You're standing on it, that's the point. Alright, see what happens. Clambering out of the dark places come all the masked and hollowed-eyed faithful, flocked round with fiery familiars. There is yet no sign of their master. Vulta, you're here, aren't you? Fancy banners, cute throne. Did you leave all this to your moots and bitterlings? Can I keep it? His words rang briefly in the air, then fade. The cavern echoes with boot scrapes and buzzard calls. We should have maybe just brought her, that Thule woman. Kraken, you mean? I like the tree thing. In the smoke and the rock musk, all seems immovable in the dark, save for the flare of a shadow of their closing foes. The mountain is mute. It will watch them die. But then, the wall splits. A warm gust hits their faces. One thing moves in the heat, tall and terrible. Even noise is burned away. Vulture's eyes sweep the chamber, settle on Mally. Is this all? 5 chattering magpies flaunting their plumes, the name of my servants sour in their beaks. You've surely come a long way. Faced my armies, faced my kindlings, faced horror and death. Ranks of assailants gather again, as if summoned from smoke and stone. But you have not faced me. The last battle begins then. Vulta of Grey Mountain, rising, towering with eyes that seem torn from the core of the star. Deathly odors pool and pour from blood-black road, gliding hungrily forward. Grey Marauders, unspoken whisper wings. Got it! Didn't decide to move. This ally attack spawns fires. Ally spawns death. Wings of Flame. Prepares to release giant beams of light in the direction of every nearby enemy. Beams damage and blind enemies. Talons. Talon Storm. Immune knockback. Vulta Grey Mountain is always guarding and attacks the first unit move adjacent. This sucks. Guess what? I didn't hear anything about you being immune to this. But yes, attack me. Oh, you didn't? Weird. And now you're bleeding. Let me get that out of your way. Can I get the angle on you two? I can. That's the angle I wanted. Stooped. Staggered, Volta's great frame folds in, but the stone door glides open, and fast she whirls away. Light, heat, seeps between feathers, fills the fissures in her flesh. The five of them share a glance and follow. And it's a pretty altar. Let's bust it up. Destroy the Sun Clutch altar. Alright, well, we stopped her big attack. That's definitely a good thing. Wings of Flame. Okay, so she's doing that again. More birdies. I'm not gonna get any more wolf calls because K1's all the way over there. Darn.
Vulnerable while stooped. Okay. So many of these teeny tiny birds. Ah. Okay. One more altar. Oh boy, that's a lot of fire. Yeah, Abby's just gonna have to tank all those tiny birds. Mally! Won't go down without a fight, though. Choke on my bones! Mally explodes towards his foe. What I need is to put my other caster down here, because she will kill all of them just by holding this area. Kira, yeah. Let me make a trick happen to make that work. There go all the birds. Oh. There we go! Whew. A shriek shreds the sudden dark, and the majesty of the Vulture Queen shrinks, blurs, leaving a small and twisted woman in the shadow of her once great shape. The captured sun has gone black as a doused coal. Her body lies broken, but breath still whispers on her lips. Stubborn old bird. Don't come closer, flick-hopping little fleas, gnawing under my wings. You cannot hope to end me. I will go on eternally. Too many dead. We're not letting you go on. It's tiring talking to this lady. I say we bring the walls down, leave her buried in the rubble. If she survives that, At least she'll be real uncomfortable. Humans, fruit-guzzling doggins, lanky-limbed pinstrels, wrecking what they want when it can't be had. Mally laid down his life for the sake of people he never met. But keep ranting. Queen Vulta! Bracken is late, barreling down the corpse-strewn corridors, panic mounting. To arrive at this unimaginable scene, the unhappy end of her journey. Stand back, all of you! They mean to entrap me, entomb me. You must. Put the knife down, Bracken. You've slain your queen's grim little host. Your faith is stirring the sea, but it's misplaced. They destroyed it. The fire that... See, Bracken, see, I did not die. While my ember survives, I linger, and... Vulta's voice trails off, but in the chamber, sometimes words grow stronger than echo. This light, did you know I captured it long ago? Beak full of sun's flame. Who has the last spark? All is in ruins, the great flame quenched. What was and what is, both are vivid in Bracken's mind, but divided by an immeasurable chasm, one she cannot bridge. And then comes clarity. My queen, it was my doing. This form you took, this prison you inhabit, my humanity, it was like a curse on you. Her fingers tighten around the dagger's hilt. Bracken, I said, the dagger's that meant for them, and it's not meant for her master. Quickly, decidedly, it turns twists around. The blade is sharp. It passes cloth and flesh. It pierces its mark. Bracken! What was a heart wrapped in crystal flame cracks, shatters, flares, and flickers, then goes out. They feel it, cold. An ancient magic unravels, ribbons that dissolve in a shivering mist. The strange air settles on Danny's tongue with a sour, prickly taste, like an unripe plum. And for a moment, reality is a raft on black waters. He forgets his friends, their desperate struggle is carried away. To a newborn land, a lonely, bleak and empty. He feels nothing but a great longing, a mouth-souring desire without object. A hunger, not for meat and marrow, but for kin. Notice, admiration and its exchange, things to fill a heart. The vision blanks and he's back in the belly of a mountain, rather than a robed queen. You closed your eyes, you alright? When did this is all that's left? Did we kill it? It skips away up broken steps. Turns a wild gaze upon the wreckage. Hey bird, you see all this? This is your mess. Mally, he's... because of you. It cocks its head. Doesn't remember. You don't know that. Vulture stretches wings, feeling its way through every feather. Then up it springs and away. Dane takes a half step forward, knocks an arrow to his bowstring. But he never lets it fly. And the bird is gone. They stand in the dark, speechless. Then they file out, gentle with the body of Mally Root. Strange, do you want to see something? Feel something? I mean, it was maybe a memory? Huh? When? Just now? No, I don't know. Sorry, nothing, I guess. Thought I was somewhere else for a second. You ever wake up in someone else's armor? It's nice. It is, isn't it? Golden River's veins, the valleys, are glimmer in a thin, bright light. The land is still, and the wind is toothless. It's said that those who we lose live on in their stories. We'll have a tangled story to tell, though, won't we? They'll tell it, and others will tell it after them. Our most loved legends live long as the sun. The shape of the tale will change, remolded by time and gilded in the mouths of poets, but it'll always be an heirloom here. Stories are graves for the world that was, memorials marking the wake of great deeds. Over the years that come, folks will develop a saying, life has no queen, the wild no master. The sun is free, and all things beneath it are free. The end. We've won. A hunger sated is the achievement, even though you can't read it here. 124 years of peace.
Something in the woods is
Dahlia and Glim lived happily ever after. Abby showed up one day and knew goddess of tick bites. Glim and Dahlia opened a tavern together. Danny this time decided to mess with more Thoggy parts. Vic became a fixture in Watching Creek. He could be found in a square most days, swapping outrageous stories and giving advice, whether it was asked for or not. Alright, so Vic and Yoga worked on the stories. Looks kind of dinky, right? That's all I had. You're driving a string of swords and stuff. But guess who won? Damon and Vic were never fully abandoned their adventuring life. Yoga. Vic, Danny, Kaywin, Bracken, the Vulture, Kira. Alright. Of course, we're gonna promote Danny. Oh, we only got one promotion for that. Oh boy. Ha! Legends never die. Danny is now our highest level legendary. And with that, while I love this game to death, and I would absolutely love to play more of it, the only mission left is not an official one. It's just a player made. And I think we should leave our legacy as is. I think this is a wonderful legacy. If this game gets updates that allow more missions, but they've said specifically they're probably not going to do that, then we'll come back to it and relive some of these legends. But yeah, shorter stream today, folks. But but that's pretty much it. That's all the content that you can do for Wildermyth for now. You can do multiplayer stuff, and you can do randomized stories as much as you want, and I will do that on my own version of the account, not messing with this one. This one gets left alone, because, I mean, look at all these people. We have, of course, Lakshan, who's there, our Storm Elemental, with the terrifying melee combatant. Yoga, our Fire Elemental, burning up the field and bringing down meteors on his enemies. Kaywin, our Gem Elemental, our Crystal Elemental, if you want to call her that, with her faithful sidekick and Black Cat. And of course, our mod, my friend and yours, as soon as I find him. There he is. Danny Blue Mage, who managed to get through all this without any transformations. He got a pet rock, though, and was one of the greatest archers the world will ever know. Then we have some others, like Tyrmor here, wielding his legendary stick. Kira, May, Warrior, our one-armed eagle person. Kirmoth. Vivkin, wielding his Dragon Slayer spear. Of course, Swickery and his sister. Where is his sister? Here she is, Chadred. 97 years old. Let's put her back to 20. Garor, looking pretty good too. So yeah, if you really like this game, it is not an expensive game. I recommend buying it. It is fantastic. You can play multiplayer with other friends. You can just do it over like Discord and say, hey, what decisions do you want to make, and do it that way. Or you can stream it like I do and put viewers in it. And it's just such a wonderful game, and it has such great stories to tell. It's got a pretty decent modding scene. Honestly, just go with it, folks. It's so good. With that being said, I'm gonna be done for the day. Next stream is on Saturday, but I need to figure out what I'm gonna be streaming. So we'll figure it out by then. But in the meantime, folks, thank you very much for watching. I hope you had fun, because I know I did. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.